Hey guys, this is a quick video for those of you that are having charging issues with your bike. This is a '07 GSXR 750. I was having problems with it not holding a charge. I'd go out for a quick ride, come back, and sometimes it would stall out on me, die on me. I'd charge the battery overnight. We have our trickle charger actually connected right here. It's really convenient. I'll show another video on how I did this and how I set this up. What's nice about this is just a quick port to plug right into when I'm done riding for the day. And that connects right to the battery. I'll show you how I wired that up. But getting into it, there's only so many parts of your charging system: your battery, your stator, your rectifier, and that's pretty much it. So how this generally works is the engine has a stator that's buried under this cover right here. That spins, creates alternating current. That then comes up through these three wires right here. This rectifier right here, that some of you may not realize what that even really is. You might have seen it, not understood what it was there for. And this is what it's exactly for. It takes that alternating current, converts it into DC current, and these two wires right here go directly to your battery and then charge your battery. So you should be getting about 13.5 volts out of here. You could test that right at the battery terminals, which are under the seat. I'm not going to go into all that. Hopefully you understand how to just remove the seat and get to your battery. But the first thing you want to do is, if you're not getting 13.5 volts from at your battery terminals, it's probably going to end up being this guy right here. Your stator could also be bad. You have a far less chance of that going bad. It can happen. It can overheat, melt the coils together. You could Google what a stator looks like so you kind of understand how it works. I'm not going to get into that detail. I just want to give you guys just a quick diagnosis of what you could do to figure it out. Again, if you're not getting 13.5 volts at least up to your battery, try and test out this guy right here. So you can go ahead, remove this pretty simply. Remove the seat, lift the tank. You'll be able to get right to the connectors up in there. At that point, you could actually test as well the AC current and see if that's actually even getting the correct AC current. If not, then that's going to be your stator would be the issue right here, which is a little more complicated to replace. You have to take a lot of things apart. But most likely it's this guy right here. I do not recommend buying a cheap one. I've replaced these before on other bikes. Typically what happens is it may work right away. You test it, things are looking good, you're getting your 13.5 volts at the battery, and you go and ride it around, and within a day, 2 days, a week, it craps the bed again. So go ahead, spend a couple more bucks. I think this one right here was about 150 bucks. You get them anywhere online. Just make sure you get a quality part. It's not worth buying them once, twice. Just do it right the first time. So one thing I wanted to point out is when you do change this, I highly, highly, highly recommend, and I can't say it again, the connector that comes and connects these three wires together from this piece of equipment right here, the rectifier, to the harness on the bike. I highly recommend cutting the clips off and hardwiring them and soldering them and taping them up real nice, because what happens is they get extremely hot because there's a ton of current going through these three wires, the AC current I talked about, and it tends to sometimes melt that connector. I will provide a picture in this video. This has happened many times with other people. It's sort of just a flaw in the connector. Sometimes the electricity going through it can make like small arcs which heat up and eventually break down that connector. So I actually replaced this once, and about 2 months later after riding, I was having issues again, and I'm like, man, I thought this thing kind of just crapped out on me again. But what it ended up being was the connection, that the connectors where they clip together had completely melted. So again, highly recommend these three wires, not the ones that go directly to your battery, but the connector that connects the stator to this. Definitely make those hardwired connections. And if you have other questions about that and what I'm trying to explain, just again comment or message me, and I'll explain it. That's it. If you guys have any questions further about that, if you want me to go into a little bit more detail about, you know, what I did to actually take things apart or whatnot, just hit me up in the comments and look for the next video.